So it's probably YouTube. I've been seeing this discourse on the internet lately about why black men don't go to church, and it said 80% of black men don't go to church anymore. It was kind of funny because it's kind of reasons like Marvin Sapp why I feel like black men don't go to church anymore. Like this whole situation is wild what he did, and honestly, it's one of the biggest reasons I think most men don't really take people in the church seriously. Like we either see it as a business or a way of come up or some power status, because sometimes most of it really got nothing to do with God. Like most of the antics that these preachers do have nothing to do with the Lord, which I feel like is really offensive. Plus, it's like you come here to manipulate instead of, actually be a preacher. But that's for a whole another. I mean, I'm gonna get into this, but let me just play this clip and basically show you how the reaction, because this clip is wild. Like this is some wild stuff, but this is a good reason. Like,
and they understand the cost that is involved. There's 1,000 of you. I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. It's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. Now, everyone up here, we've all sold and seeded, but I need everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of $100. Because again, it costs to sit up here. And this is what I need you to do. If you're giving electronically, or even if you're giving tangibly, I'm gonna have y'all come to the altar and give it, because I need to see 1,000 people moving. Bring them baskets. I want the baskets up here. I want to see the folk. Y'all start moving. Y'all can bring it right now. Come. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people online need to give $20.
As you can see, Marvin Sapp is basically threatening his congregation to pay him with money. These are the same people that's probably struggling with their bills to pay him. He wants to get his goal to 40,000. So I'm guessing, and it's what, it's like 1,000 people. So what, he want them to give up at least a good 10 to 20, cough up a good 10 to 20, probably 25, 30, depending on the person, or probably more. And let's be honest, it's eventually probably more. You probably want them to cough up a good couple of hundreds. And that's unrealistic, bro. You're unrealistic. You're unrealistic. Because, okay, $20 I could see it, but you want niggas to cough up a couple of hundred, like, for your own advancement is honestly sickening. And I'm saying this because I've seen this happen throughout my years, like going to church when I was younger. And it's not like, oh, I hate going to church or I don't like praying, but a lot of people at church are goofballs. Like my first preacher that I had when I was younger, he was probably the most realist person I've ever seen preach. Other than that, I've seen a bunch of demonic entities pray at the altar, but like for example, I've seen preachers do I've seen all the scams. I done seen preachers sell the church to a white company and leave everybody in the church looking crazy. Like we had a preacher, right? He would always preach about donations and keeping the church alive. Then this nigga turned around to sell the church, a black-owned church that's been there for a good couple of... This church been around for damn near 60 years, since the civil rights. It's been around for a very long time. It's very historical. This idiot decided to sell the church, get money, and I don't know what the hell he did with the money. I heard he blew through the money anyways. This is dumb shit, and he was always fiending for donations. Oh, give me a donation. We're trying to keep the church alive. The church bill is not that high. He was taking that money, of course, spending it on himself, buying his wife more weird, big-ass hats to wear to look fancy in front of the whole congregation like we gave a fuck. Doing extra shit just for him to sell the church to a white corporation that ended up kicking them niggas out the fucking church. I can't make this shit up. Like, the thing is, I feel like most men see through the bullshit. I feel like a lot of these preachers, they prey on emotional manipulation. They like to use women. They play on their emotions, especially when it comes to single women and raising children. They love doing shit like that. Like, I've seen preachers do it all. I've seen women play on the emotions of women and get money from women and do all types of weird shit and have sex with women, just as men do. I've seen y'all all do the same thing. I had a preacher. This nigga had a wife, and I'm dead serious. It used to be women fighting to sit next to his wife or to sit beside the wife or actually sit in the wife's seat because he was basically fucking all of them. Like, I can't make this shit up. This was a grown ass man. This was a grown ass man talking about the Lord and temptation. I used to smell Henny on this nigga's breath. Like, I used to just smell beer Henny on this nigga's breath. I've been around alcoholics my whole life. I know when I know a nigga get active. This nigga get active. I'm in church with watching this nigga have a harem. Mind you, I'm 12 watching this. I'm 12. I'm 12 pre and game. I'm like, this nigga got a whole set of women at his disposal. He's having sex with all these women and he has a wife and he's doing this in the Lord's church. Like he's preaching about God while he has these women fighting, scattering, doing all types of bullshit. Then he's stealing money out of the donations to use for his benefit. The numbers not adding up. People adding up the numbers in church, looking at each other like, hey, this not adding up with this. Like, where is this lump sum of money go? I wonder where the fuck it's going. It's going to him, Mr. Henny Breath, his goofy ass. But yeah, I keep running around here. A lot of these preachers are pimps. I'm telling y'all the truth. Like, a lot of these niggas are not good mentally. Same thing with the women. A lot of these people are they're business people. They coming up with people insecurities. They're preying on their downfalls and their issues, and they're using it against them. A lot of these people play on women and try to manipulate them to get what they want out of them for the advancement of whatever the fuck they want in their lives. I've seen a lot of preachers do it. A lot of these preachers, the things that they talk about that people do outside worldly is the same shit that they're doing in their own house. They preach about all the things that's happening in the world, but look what you're doing, wickedness within your own church, nigga. You're not right within your own self, but you want to help me reach my full potential when you can't even reach your full potential, nigga. You doing things that's holding you back, and you're holding the church back, and you're stealing money for the advancement of yourself instead of getting a fucking job. Instead of getting a job and doing that for yourself. But again, everything is a scam. That's why I feel like certain mindsets and certain things, you see through it. Like, I understand why most black men don't go to church, because I feel like a lot of the people that are in the church are fucked up. And I see it all the time, bro. I've seen it when I was younger. That's why I stopped going. I'm like, this nigga's in the congregation fucking half of the church. And this nigga want to tell me about temptation and shit. Then he want to preach to me about marriage. Nigga, you're married and you're cheating. You're cheating in front of everybody. Like, I'm literally seeing this shit. Like, I'm not no dumbass nigga. Like, I might not be the smartest little nigga on the planet. Like, I was 12, but like, I'm seeing through it. Like, I'm young enough to have a good grasp understanding that this nigga is literally a horrible person. And I've seen all the stories of the preacher getting the younger girl at church pregnant and the whole fucking nine. I done heard it all. Nigga. I done heard it all. I done heard the preacher get the sister pregnant, then get the cousin pregnant. What? I done heard it all, man. I done heard it fucking all. These niggas is the devil, man. They doing the devil's work. They not in there doing God's work at all. And men could see straight through that shit. Like, the emotional manipulation they play on these women and the tough times that they're going through. Single motherhood is very hard. Certain things are very hard, and they play upon those things to use them. A lot of us can see through it. Like, I seen through the shit, like, growing up. And same thing with my mom. That's why my mom never really took them niggas seriously anyways. That's why she, feel me, never even really went back to church either. But understandably, we would both see it like, damn, this nigga's fucked up. There was only one preacher in my whole entire life. He was actually a good man. His wife died. He was very sound. He always came to church pray. I had a good vibe. I actually like being around him. The other preachers, I didn't like, their vibe was always off. Like, I always knew they was on some bullshit. Like, this nigga actually made me want to come to church. Like, he was actually a good person. Like, you could tell he was a great human being, the way how he carried himself. He was very respectful. His wife died, so he got old, and you know, he probably wanted, I don't know, he probably dead, honestly. He's definitely dead by now. That man was really old. But yeah, you could tell he was more of a humble guy, and he was really, like, you know, upfront, and he was real about the church and the issues that was going on in the community. Like, he actually expressed real communal issues. He actually went outside and actually helped people with their lives. Like, he helped get black men through college, do all types of other things. Like, he wasn't just preaching, he was showing results. He was actually going out there and helping the community. Something that a lot of preachers don't really do. They just sit up there and just yap about a bunch of bullshit. They're not actually, they like, as a man, I feel like the way to get men, you have to show results. And that's something that a lot of men that preach don't do. They know how to speak fantasies. They're good with words, but they're not good with actually showing results, which is another thing. And it's like, we could see through it. Like, we know this is just your little scam, and you're probably just going to run away and go to another state after, you know, the facade wears off, how long it takes, how much money you make. But we don't know the fuckery that y'all play. So to me, I feel like that's why a lot of black men don't go to church, because it's always just some type of emotional manipulation. And we see it with the women. A lot of people do like to prey on women and their downfalls, which I think is fucked up. But I feel like as men, we do warn women that these things are going on, but it's really their choice to listen at the end of the day. But yes, I do agree. Obviously, I'm not saying, oh, men are more logical and women are more, because some of these niggas got bad. Like, these niggas got no brain. Some of these niggas just have a head. There's no brain power. There's no cognitive function. There's just nothing. There's just air. So I wouldn't really say that either. But I think men know when they're being manipulated just a little bit better than women. I don't know. Like, no matter how intelligent the woman is, no matter how much degree she has, this, that, and the third, they're always somehow like they always somehow get swindled into emotional manipulation. I don't know how, but it happens. It happens. It happens. You would be surprised. I've seen the most intelligent women that I thought was intelligent get manipulated by the same nigga in the same church. The nigga done preached, said all this about his wife, then turn around and sell her a dream and act like he gonna be with her and leave his wife. I'm like, you're crazy. Like, these women are crazy as hell. Like, again, these niggas are selling these women dreams, and we could see through it. So I understand why men don't want to get involved with church. I see why a lot of black men don't want to get in church, because a lot of it is goofy shit. Then the scams that's going on in church with the donations, you're taking money, you're spending on yourself. Like the black man I just spoke about, this nigga literally sold the church. Like, he sold a black-owned church. Like, you sold black-owned property to a white company. 5 years later, they kicked your ass out. You went somewhere else. You shit the bed, bro. Like, you really fucked those people up, and you took that money, and God knows what the fuck you did with it. Now people saying you blew the money because, I don't know, your marriage and your family went left, and I don't know what the fuck happened with you. You probably got depressed, but I mean, yeah, you reap what you sow, nigga. You do wicked, you get wicked. So yeah, a lot of these niggas are doing wicked shit, running around scamming people, getting money out of them, doing all types of wicked shit. Like, most of the things these people do are not even from money. I've seen women spend the donations on Cadillacs, on a Range Rover. You bought a new Range Rover, but your church is in debt. Like, I don't understand. Like, where's all the money going? And the money's going to them. That's the problem. And this is why you can't trust people. And I think the church, we have less structure in terms of watching over people and policing people. Plus, we are not so... We try to act like we're not... I don't know. People in church try to act like they're not judgmental, even though they are. Like, these niggas are super judgmental. You come to church in a certain fit, these niggas start crying and bitching. Oh, why is she wearing that? Oh, shut the fuck up. Like, you shut your bitch ass up, nigga. You used to be a stripper. But, like, I done seen it. Oh, I'm like, nigga, why are you... like, you acting like... Oh, brother. But niggas in the church like to act like they larger than life. But it's like, niggas can't question the preacher. Like, then we take accountability from ourselves and we leave it up all to God, which to a degree, I feel like, yes, you should pray to God for certain things. And obviously, when it comes to accountability, you niggas kind of take that shit away from yourselves and just leave it up to God, when it's like, you could just see who's doing it and just kick them out. Like, there's no... You could leave it up to God, nigga. You have to change your church. Like, you have to change the environment of your church. You, as the community, people in the community have to change the church. And that's not really what happens. Y'all let people that do wicked sit on the stand and pray to you guys for how long they can and do the wicked shit that they do behind closed doors in your church. And then you complain about that said person decades later, when you guys could have just solved the issue by kicking a nigga out in the first place. But y'all done let these people seek refuge, come to your church, and ruin your church environment. And I feel like a lot of men see through the bullshit. But that's all I really have to say, though. I think that's why 80% of black men don't go to church. Maybe I'm wrong. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm going to see you on the next YouTube video. Peace.